Hello YouTube, this is HVAC Budget Channel, and tonight we have the Ozark Trail Multiforce. This is one of the most talked about budget multi-tools, and for good reason. This has many of the characteristics of the $99 Leatherman Wave. Many people say that Ozark Trail stole or took, whatever you call it, designs from the Leatherman. And as I understand, the patents are up, so they are allowed to do that. But nevertheless, this is the Multiforce. So let's go ahead and look at some of its characteristics. I did want to mention that the Trooper, T-R-U-P-E-R, I did a video on that, and you can check that out as well. And that is actually a replica of one of the first generation's Leatherman Wave. And since I don't have a Wave yet myself, it's not really a budget multi-tool. I did not realize that the first generation Leatherman Wave, the implements here did not lock. So the Trooper multi-tool is actually a fairly cheap imitation or replica of the Leatherman Wave that isn't that bad. So be sure to check out that video if you're interested. But let's check out the Ozark Trail Multiforce. This is $37 on at Walmart, and we start with the pliers. These are really nice pliers. I noticed that these are so much better than my pet peeve Leatherman, the Sidekick pliers. These are so much better pliers. They come together a lot better, and I actually took these to work several days, actually I think a week or so at a time, to check them out. And the pliers, I use them several times. They work fairly well. So these have the soft for soft wire and also for hard wire at the bottom, and I do not think I damaged these very much. Some I have damaged using them for coat hangers and such, and really heavier duty than they needed to be. And the second thing I wanted to mention is these also have the wire crimpers at the bottom. These come in really handy. On my Leatherman rebar, I really like those wire crimpers at the bottom there. So the pliers have turned out really good, a lot better than I expected. So let's look at some of the other implements. The serrated knife, I now use this as my plastic box opener. So I've got several packages I have to open during the day. I'm in HVAC, so I've got die packages I have to open. They have that hard plastic, and this serrated blade really helps open that up. Now on the other side we find the file. Now I have not really used this file extremely much, but many people have complained that the diamond side, it pretty much is a one-use file. I again am not super heavy due to use into using this, but I do use it to get some rust off. You can see I use to get some rust off some bearings or a motor shaft rather. And also some other instances I use the file just to try to get some rust off or sand metal surfaces down, and it did seem to work fairly good for the light duties that I used it for. So the serrated blade, the file, and again everything in here locks. So this is a really nice tool for the money. $37 with all locking implements. Knife blade, very nice, locks in place. Unlock it there, pocket clip, and then also you've got the saw. Now this is one of the tools I have not used yet that seems fairly sharp, but this is what I would use for cutting PVC or wood if I had to, remodeling, not at work but at home. I might use it to cut some wood just in a pinch. Alright, so let's move to the inside tools, and we find on this side a fairly nice pair of scissors. These are very nice scissors here, work very well. And then also you've got your standard blade screwdriver. I love this blade to open furnace doors. That's what I use it for. It's got a nice thick blade. And unfortunately, a lot of times in screwdrivers, they come fairly small, and so this blade is a nice thick addition. All right, and then you've also got this multi-combination tool that I do not find much use for. Can opener, I'm not really eating cans of soup in my work truck, And then also you find this wire stripper tool. I did try to use it, and it just seemed to gouge the wire, the plastic insulation on the wire off. I was not extremely satisfied with that tool. It doesn't seem like a good option, but there it is, last ditch, I suppose. All right, and then sort of the crown jewel of this tool is this 1/4" bit driver. Very nice bit driver. This is something that just makes this multi-tool stand out. Not many multi-tools have these 1/4" bit drivers. Leatherman, of course, has sort of the half 1/4" where they have the very slimline bits, but this is a full size, double-sided. And then I want to bring in, because some people may say it's hard to get these bits. I know there's many videos about how easy it is. But just as an example, this is your Klein 13-in-1, 16-in-1. I'm not sure what it's called exactly. There's so many variations, but this is the Klein bit driver, or the Klein multi-tool screwdriver. And these work very good in this Multiforce. Just snap right in, flip them around. So you have a whole ton of options. You've got your small, your Phillips, your small standard, your Phillips, and then you've also got on the other side, you can pull this out, and then of course you've got all these other options as well with your Torx heads and so forth. So many options for this Multiforce. Such a great tool. All right, so sort of to wrap this up, I did want to mention that recently I got a Leatherman rebar, and carrying the rebar in this, there is a huge difference. This is a much heavier tool. So let's bring in also the driver here that comes with it. $37 for the tool, for this magnetic 1/4" bit driver, bit extender, and then also the pouch. And what I like about this pouch is it's got this clip, and even though it's fairly light duty, it still hasn't snapped on me. And what I like about this is you don't have to take your whole belt off to get this pouch off. It can just fit right in there. And then it has this nice place in here for this bit extender to sit in, and my, does that ever come in handy. All right, so this Multiforce, it is a very heavy multi-tool. Again, I do not have the Leatherman Wave yet. I'm trying to buy multi-tool budget options, which at $100, I hardly see that as a budget option. Leatherman Wave Plus you can hardly get for under $60 used, so still not very budget friendly, but this is a very heavy multi-tool. Much heavier than the rebar. Not awful, but you definitely feel that it's there. So that is something to take in consideration. Very nice tool, very well built tool, very heavy duty tool, but you will feel that it's there. So if that's a huge consideration, take that as it may. But Multiforce Ozark Trail is doing a really good job with this. You'll find many variations. There's a mossy oak. There is Diacamper, I think it's called. There's a couple other versions that are basically the same tool. But the Multiforce, very good tool, $37. This is, I would say, the 21-in-1 Byberry is your basement budget multi-tool for around $21. That has your 1/4" bit driver, and this is your budget. So the 21-in-1 Byberry is if you're desperate for the best budget tool, around $20, but this is definitely your quality budget multi-tool coming in at $37. Great option. And from what I understand, these tools you can switch these in and out with Leatherman, the rebar, the Wave, some of the Super Tool 300. So you can mix and match. You can put Leatherman multi-tools in here. You can put these tools on the Leatherman. Just so many options. A great tool for the price, $37. The Multiforce, a great tool.